Widely regarded as one of the best games of all time, featuring in most people's top 10s including my own, The Last of Us is a simple story. 20 years on from the death of his daughter, Joel must travel across a post-apocalyptic America with Ellie, a 14-year-old little girl who is immune to the cordyceps infection, a parasitic infection that has ravaged the once great country. As humanity's only hope for a cure, they embark on a 10-month-long journey where the characters they meet, the obstacles they overcome, and ultimately the bond they form are what makes this game so special. I originally played through the game when the Remastered edition released in 2014 for the PS4. Now 8 years on, in late 2022 with the upcoming release of the HBO adaptation, I decided it was finally time to re-experience this masterpiece and try to add it to my Platinum collection before the show debuted in January. On my original playthrough, I'd only unlocked 5 of the 24 trophies, 0 collectible trophies, 1 miscellaneous for crafting every type of item, 2 story trophies for beating the game on normal, and 2 of the 4 online trophies, and that's where we'll start. I decided my best course of action was to try and get the multiplayer trophies out the way first, as despite only being 2 trophies, I knew they would be a massive grind and were the reason that I'd put off doing the Platinum for so long. The 2 trophies, Hunter and Firefly, require you to survive 12 full weeks. With 1 game equaling a day, we'd need to play 83 games per team, or 166 in total, as you don't play the final day. Luckily for me though, I actually played a good bit of the multiplayer at launch and got to continue my original Hunter playthrough, starting on day 4 of week 11. With only 10 games to go for my first trophy, I thought this would be a piece of cake, and boy was I wrong. I had this memory of me being quite good at the game back when I used to play, but every single game I went into, I was the lowest leveled player and was getting my ass beat, having to resort to the dastardly trick of hiding mines in toolboxes just to get kills. During the 12 weeks you get weekly challenges with the occasional risk to 100% of population challenge that you must beat or you'll fail the playthrough and have to start all over again. On day 4 of week 12 I got my last 100% risk challenge for the Hunters, and luckily I hadn't wasted all my easy challenges, so all I had to do was give out 6 gifts to my teammates. Something I was sure would win me some friends.
This place is ours.
You fucking pieces of fucking filth, man. Fuck you.
After just over 2 hours I'd popped the Hunter trophy and was not looking forward to my Firefly playthrough, although I noticed something that would help me out massively. In almost every game, 1 or 2 players would leave right as the game started or right after joining a game in progress.
In the area, and also uniforms. We watch each other's backs.
Fuck those guys.
Huh? That's like the 3rd game in a row 2 people have left straight away, what the fuck? I looked it up and people were tactically skipping games. As long as you have at least 1 healthy survivor in your clan, you can quit out a match with your only punishment being that some of the healthy survivors would become hungry or sick, and 6 survivors would die. Realising this would save me a good amount of time, I adopted this strategy, and instead of building as big a population as possible like the game intended, I focused on simply surviving. Using this method, I was able to complete my first of the 12 weeks in an hour, skipping 3 of the 7 days. I continued skipping 3 games a week and sometimes an occasional 4th if I was feeling risky, up until week 11 when the fear of messing up kicked in and I decided to start playing it safe. In total, I was able to skip 36 of the 83 games, and after a long 12.5 hours spread out over several weeks, I finally got the last online trophy on December 31st, which meant I could start 2023 off by replaying one of my favourite games. The remaining trophies I had left required me to find all collectibles, fully upgrade Joel and all the weapons, and then beating the game on the hardest difficulty, Survivor Plus, would unlock all the difficulty related trophies. I wasn't sure how tough Survivor would be and wanted my first playthrough to be one where I just got to fully soak up the experience, not pausing constantly to check a guide, so decided to completely ignore the collectibles and get those later, either by chapter select or a full second playthrough. Now to unlock Survivor Plus you're supposed to beat the game on Survivor first, however, there's a glitch that allows you to unlock Survivor Plus, and whilst I'm usually against using glitches, this one felt harmless as I still had to beat the game on the hardest difficulty and was essentially just saving time. Forcing myself to play through it on the hardest difficulty twice, with one of them being whilst trying to find collectibles, just felt unnecessary. So it was finally time. On January 5th I loaded up my original save file from 2014 and started New Game Plus with only 10 days until the show's premiere. 20 years after the start of the infection and the death of Sarah, we're in Boston on our way to beat up a guy, and I was nervous about how difficult the game would be as I had memories of some sections being tough despite playing on normal, and after my very first encounter with a clicker, my confidence wasn't all too high. Stealth, obviously. Shit! Ah, fuck. Fuck my ammo. Yeah, I'd need my stealth to be a lot better than that if I stood a chance at beating the game, and it didn't take long for me to be punished for my previous actions, as thanks to wasting all 5 of those precious bullets in that fight, I was forced into my first shootout with no bullets. Shit.
Ready?
No.
I'll cover you. Get the angle on them.
And what, I've not got any bullets? Ah, fuck. Fuck it. Here we go. Oh, he was easy. Piece of piss.
We're done, Texas.
Although funnily enough, it was only 5 minutes later that my confidence was sky high after I easily snuck past all of Robert's guards. We meet Marlene, the leader of a group of freedom fighters known as the Fireflies, who says she can get us weapons in exchange for smuggling a kid out of the city, which was super easy. It wasn't until trying to get out the subway I encountered my first of many deaths in the playthrough. In fact, I died 5 times in just this section. The stealth felt weirdly inconsistent when it came to sneaking up on enemies. I could easily sneak up on a human, but clickers just seemed to have this sixth sense that I was behind them. We reach the drop-off point, but all the Fireflies are dead, and Tess reveals that she's been bitten, leaving the safety of humanity's best chance of a cure in the hands of Joel. Whilst getting out the Capitol building after Tess's sacrifice, I managed to pull some Sam Fisher level stealth moves to sneak out unnoticed, and this was genuinely just such a satisfying moment, being able to avoid this big fight section and escaping by the skin of my teeth. Alright, I think I'm just gonna have to... Oh...
There's the exit.
Shh, shut the fuck up. Right, I think we're just gonna make a run for it. Nice, nice. Afterwards we head to Bill for help getting a car, and just the chemistry between Ellie and Bill is great. I just wish the two of them got to spend more time together. It's around this point where I finally felt comfortable getting into fights with groups of infected thanks to my new weapons. I get a bow to stay stealthy if I wanted, although arrows would randomly break, which was annoying, but the shotgun and hunting rifle along with my 2 pistols, bombs that Bill taught us to make, and Joel's hands of stone had me feeling like I could take on the world. Of course though, The Last of Us had to remind me how easily I could die when I came across a bloater for the first time who killed me with ease. Thankfully it only took 1 death to the big man for me to learn my lesson. We escape the high school, find Frank along with a truck that needs a bump start, and this section was so fun. Juggling between pushing the cart and fighting off the infected, it's one of those little sections of the game that most people might forget, but playing on Survivor you feel so vulnerable in the middle of the street, and the fear of dying here was real. With the car working, we drop off Bill and hit the road with the goal of finding Joel's brother, a former Firefly who'll know where we can take Ellie. On our way, we're forced into Pittsburgh because of a road blockage, and this was such a cool scene, with Joel saying, "He's not even hurt," then boof, putting the foot down and ramming the guy.
Easy. Holy shit. Are we gonna help him?
Put your seatbelt on, Ellie.
Well, what about the guy?
He ain't even hurt.
And even after this, the fight section was brilliant. Joel is absolutely brutal, and I remember hiding in cover waiting for them to push, and the AI was going on little flanks and trying to sneak up on me, and I genuinely just love this game. We make our way through the city and come to a hotel, which was a section of the game I'd mostly forgotten about. I managed to stealth my way through the area, and then it happened. Whilst giving Ellie a boost, the elevator falls and we plummet. Somehow Joel survives, and we're now separated from Ellie in the basement of the hotel, all alone. A few years back, I managed to convince my friend who doesn't like horror games to play The Last of Us with my word that the game wasn't scary, and he called me out. He was like, "You told me the game wasn't scary. That basement section in the hotel was terrifying," and I kinda just blew it off. I was like, "I don't remember it, you're just being a baby." I was wrong, so if you end up watching this corner, my bad, you were right. On Survivor difficulty without the listen mode, this section is pretty scary. You're going down the corridor, and you can hear the clicker but you can't quite make out where from. I kinda wish we had more sections like this, as I felt pretty vulnerable and was on the edge of my seat the whole time I was down here. After finding the key card and the exit, I flipped the generator on and just ran to safety. After getting saved by Ellie, we leave the hotel and then run into two brothers, Henry and Sam. We make a pact to help each other escape the bandit-infested city, and this asshole patches me first chance he gets. Ah. You better not patch me, mate.
I'm sorry.
You fucking piece of shit.
Bullshit.
Hey, now!
What the fuck, Henry?
We're chased by a massive truck until we're forced to leap off a broken bridge into the freezing waters below. When Joel awakes on a beach, we're reunited with Sam and Henry, who supposedly saved us from drowning whilst we were unconscious. We then travel through the sewers and come across the remnants of a community that lived down in the tunnels, and finding all the little notes and putting together what happened down there was brilliant. The world building from Naughty Dog is incredible, but the good times were about to come to a screeching halt. After escaping the sewers, we come across a little housing estate, and the stress this section caused me. Right, let's go. But I wait to fuck, man! Wait for him to shoot and then I'm going in this house. Let's go. Oh my fucking god. Alright, he's not got an angle on me for here. Just need to worry about... How the fuck did he shoot me? I'm gonna fucking kill myself. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Yeah, this was probably the worst part of the game for me. We've got a sniper at the end of the road shooting at us who can kill us in one shot because I've ran out of healables. There's enemies roaming the surrounding buildings and I have zero ammo for any of my guns. Up until this point in the game I'd only died 18 times and I died 8 times in this section alone. After the longest 20 minutes of my life, I made it to the end of the street. Thankfully managed to sneak past the last 4 guards and made my way into the house. Where is he? There's a sniper in there. Is he hiding? Where are you? Fuck, there you are. Ah, no you fucking don't, you cunt. Yes! Stab fuck at him, man. The next morning, it's revealed Sam get bit, and I completely forgot about this part.
The hell? Shit, he's turning! That's my fucking brother! Screw it!
Shit.
Ellie? Ellie, are you alright?
Oh my god.
Sam?
Oh no.
Sam? Henry? Ellie, stay there. Henry? What have you done? I'm gonna get that gun from you, okay? Oh, okay, easy. This is your fault. This is nobody's fault, Henry. It's all your fault! Henry! Henry, no!
Oh my god.
Fucking hell, man. I'm a cold, heartless bastard. And I forgot how it ended with Henry and Sam. And that's, damn. We're now in Jacksonville where we get to meet Joel's brother Tommy again. After he agrees to take Ellie off our hands, she does a runner. After finding her, I unlocked the Everything We've Been Through trophy for fully upgrading Joel with supplements, which is weird because I hadn't actually fully upgraded him. I still needed 100 more pills to unlock the final part of the Shiv Master, but hey, I wasn't complaining. The university section of the game was surprisingly easy. This is one of the parts where I thought I might have some trouble, but somehow managed to get through it without dying. With Joel taking a fall and impaling himself, we now play as Ellie and jump forward to winter. Whilst out hunting, we come across a nice man who offers us medical supplies in exchange for the deer that we just killed. While waiting for his friend to come back with the medicine, we're attacked by a horde of the infected, and this section was about as tough as I expected it to be, dying a handful of times here. There's a boss fight towards the end when a bloater drops down and you're fighting him in this tight area. I died twice against him and got a really bad checkpoint with low health and next to no ammo. Most of the fight was spent running around waiting for ammo to magically spawn in before I finally got him. Our new friend David surprisingly lets us leave with the medicine, but were later tracked down and captured. Escaping as Ellie was a pretty good stealth section, although even when I get spotted I was able to just run and the enemies gave up chasing as soon as I got far enough away. The little cat and mouse boss fight against David was fun, even if it did kinda fuck me. After Ellie buries a machete in his head, we jump forward to spring and we finally have arrived at Salt Lake City. Getting to the hospital was a piece of cake with me only dying once in the tunnel section with the 2 bloaters. My second attempt I managed to sneak really far in, and then Ellie found me a bunch of flamethrower ammo which came in handy. After reaching the hospital and having them take Ellie off us, it's revealed that the surgery to try and create a cure will kill Ellie in the process. Having already lost one daughter, Joel can't lose another, and this was my most dreaded part of the game, as back when I played on normal, I remember dying plenty of times in this part and I was not looking forward to it on Survivor. On the first floor I managed to sneak pretty far before being spotted and then running into enemies, although thanks to now knowing the layout I was able to sneak up to the second floor. The second floor was a pretty similar story. After nearly getting past on my first try, I was able to, on my third attempt, get super close to the exit and then just make a run for it. Alright, I managed to sneak this far without getting spotted, so I should be able to just... Who's spotting me? What? Wasn't there a fucking second ago? Fuck. I'm just gonna run, please. What a guy. And it was now time. Alright.
Sweet Jesus. Doctor? What are you doing in here?
Alright, let's do it.
I won't let you take it. This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save.
No. You used to just stay against the wall. Don't need any more kids coming after us. All that was left to do now was carry Ellie to safety.
I'm getting you out of here, girl.
There it is. Shit, that's not the exit. Oh no. Am I supposed to be running? I feel like I'm moving so slow. Yeah, I fucked up. I can't believe it. Oh. After 11 hours and in my opinion a fairly respectable 38 deaths, my playthrough on Survivor was complete, and boy was it a ride. I now only had 9 trophies standing between me and the platinum, 8 trophies related to finding all the collectibles, and then a miscellaneous for upgrading all guns. I had thought about using chapter select, but since I needed to find enough tools to upgrade the remaining weapons, and the remaining 45 collectibles being spread out across all the chapters, I figured another playthrough on easy wouldn't hurt. So I found a guide by Bushido Cypher on YouTube who had all the different types of collectibles in one video, and then started all over again. Chapter 10 at the bus depot was when we started popping all the trophies. First I get the trophy for engaging in all optional conversations, after Ellie tells us about a dream she had about flying in a plane. Then was the trophy for finding all artifacts, which auto-popped Scavenger, the trophy for finding all collectibles despite having a handful left. I got the last Firefly pendant, training manual, and even got to finish upgrading the last few weapons in this chapter. In the hospital I opened the last Shiv door to become the Master of Unlocking, and then made sure to give Abby a reason to come and find me. In the final area before you overlook Jackson, I found the last comic book for Endure and Survive, and now we had 1 trophy left. I always like to make my last trophy one that's either funny or looks cool, and decided to save That's All I Got for last.
Ready for a joke? 3.14% of sailors are pirates.
3.14.
I stayed up all night wondering where the sun went. Then it dawned on me.
Oh, I get it.
What did the mermaid wear to her math class?
What?
An algebra.
Terrible.
Why did the scarecrow get a promotion?
Alright.
Because he was outstanding in his field.
That'll do. Put that thing away.
Okay, I'm all joked out. Now what?
Finally, it was done. On January 14th, literally the day before the HBO show debuted, I managed to platinum The Last of Us. In total, it took me just under 33.5 hours, 14 hours for the online, which would have been a lot more had I not already played a good amount back when the game released, and honestly, this is the only part of the trophy list that I can complain about. Even though much to my surprise the servers were really well populated, I mean I was finding games instantly at any time of the day. I hate multiplayer trophies in single player games, but especially in a game as story heavy as The Last of Us. And although there's a lot of people online, most are near max level and just stomping all the newcomers, so forcing the online section onto people will put so many people off going for the platinum. Not to mention the amount of games that you need to play. I could only imagine about an hour a week of the online, but the single player was the complete opposite. I remember telling myself I'd jump on and only play Bill's chapter. Next thing I know, it's 4.5 hours later and I've just watched a man blow his little brother's brains out all over the floor. The 11 hours I spent on my Survivor playthrough was actually really fun, and it feels like the way the game's supposed to be played, scrounging for bullets and praying that you can sneak past enemies to save your ammo. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I feel like if you've ever played a stealth game with a focus on taking cover, like Splinter Cell Blacklist or Conviction, you'll likely be able to notice the paths and stealth past most sections. Even when you get caught though, I was able to run ahead and either trigger a checkpoint or go through a door that would take me out the area, and Ellie is such a great sidekick. Eventually I noticed that if I didn't heal, Ellie would just magic up a medkit for me, which I definitely abused. The 8 hours it took me for the Collectibles playthrough was surprising, as I thought I'd probably be able to beat it in about half the time, but there's just so many collectibles and you cannot do it without a guide. Some were hidden really well, like a couple of firefly pendants are hidden up in trees. But overall, I'm really happy I got the platinum and that I got to experience one of my favourite games again. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I try and upload videos like these when I get the chance. If you're into streaming though, I'm over on Twitch, usually doing some trophy hunting if you want to check that out. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.